Oh, oh my goodness. We get all these crazy announcements when you like actually start to be live. It's like this call is being notated.
I know that was new, right? Like I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, she was very nice and talk to me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, actually, I don't know if you've been on TikTok or Instagram lately, but oh, this is such a Karen thing to say. All right. So, Damon and I follow this dog called King Buddy, and he's
Yeah.
a golden retriever, and that's his voice.
Is it really?
The voice of the lady who just said this is being transcribed or whatever, that's the
Yeah.
voice.
I
Yeah,
love that. That's
I
pretty
know.
cute.
I know, it is pretty cute. Well, can you believe it's another week of Unfiltered? Um, Last week we kind of kicked things off and we didn't really even tell anybody about how we arrived at our name because we kind of just got into like the business of like supplements and things because I was in my hotel washroom and all that good stuff. Now I'm in another washroom because I mean, why not? Let's keep the theme, I guess.
Let's keep it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Vanessa, what do you want to say about our name? Like, we decided to go with Unfiltered because I feel like we just give people the real deal on things. And I think it's pretty fitting. But I mean, maybe you want to talk about how we got here. I don't know.
Well, there's some other people that had our name or supposedly had our name, so they didn't want us to use the name. So we were like, no problem. We're going to be something else. And so that's how we became the name. We're unfiltered now. And because honestly, we really are unfiltered. Like even
It's
in
true.
our pictures, everything,
Yeah.
we're completely 100% authentic, ladies. Like when we're talking to you stuff, like we either do it or done it or use it or come
Or we
across
tell you we
it,
didn't. Yeah.
right? Exactly. So we're 100%. That's why I like that we're unfiltered because really it's we're giving you the truth, the lowdown, everything about it. You'll see us mess up, you'll see us drop things, you'll see all kinds of stuff, but that's who we are. And I'm sure that's who you guys are too. So we wanted to be completely like unfiltered,
Unfiltered.
right? Like completely. Right. So that's where the name kind of came. So we actually asked ChatGTP for some cool names, and Karen was like, "Yeah, we're unfiltered."
Bam! Mic drop. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of Unfiltered. I don't know why that wasn't where we started, but I love it because it's just true. Like we will never give you, we'll always give you the raw deal. Always,
Yeah.
we'll always give you the raw deal. So with that in mind, can you believe that it is the last week of August? Like it's just blowing my mind.
It's nauseating because I don't know where August went. It's like I
No,
blinked my eyes at July and then all of a sudden it's August. So
yeah.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Well, I'll tell you what's happening is a lot of people are getting ready to go back to school.
Yes. And a lot of
And
people are looking to find, guess what? The right foundation for their skin.
yeah, because I don't, wouldn't you say like this is the time when you feel like you actually need to start to dress up your makeup routine because you're like you're going back to school. Fall is even serious business in business land. You know, we switch from our CC creams and we don't look so casual anymore because you know casual Fridays are gone. Sorry, ladies. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how do you find the right foundation, and honestly, super timely because I just fell in love with the latest Time Wise 3D foundation, which looks like this guy here. And what we're going to chat about today is how we pick a foundation, right? So there's a lot of different formulas out there. Some of them are mattifying, some of them are luminous, some of them are buildable. And we're going to take you through kind of how you pick which one for you. Cool?
Cool. And we just did it with some simple little questions for you guys, right? So you can ask this to yourself too, because you really need to know these three questions, right? In order to get the right coverage, the right foundation for your skin. So the first question is, what does my skin need? So are you oily? Are you dry? Do you find you notice texture? Or is there fine lines? Like you need to know these sort of things when you're doing a foundation, right? And the next question, so question number one was, what does your skin need? Question number two is, what kind of finish do you love? Really, because you're wearing this and you could be wearing this for all day. You could wear this for a couple hours. You could be wearing this occasionally, every day, right? So you really need to know what texture you like, not what texture the foundation companies are telling you about. What do you like, right? And the next one is number 3 is how much coverage do I really want? Like, do you want full coverage? Do you want medium coverage? Do you want light coverage? What do you want? Right? Because that's really important too, because some people will send us a picture of what they want, but that's hard. That's hard to do, right? Because we don't know their skin, right? We don't know what's under their foundation. So we have no idea. We don't know if they're oily, they're dry, right? So you really need to decide what you want, not what a picture is showing you, right? Don't you think,
Yeah.
Karen?
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I would add about showing a picture is, do you want the foundation in the picture or do you want that person's skin? Because those are two different things, right? And sometimes, in order to get the finish that you're seeing in a picture, it takes a lot more coverage than sometimes you're comfortable with. So sometimes thinking about it in terms of pictures can be difficult to replicate. I find that a lot when I'm doing bridal. Somebody will give me a photo and it's either an AI generated photo or it's an airbrushed photo or something that's been touched up after the fact, and those are definitely hard to recreate. So definitely ask yourself, like, what kind of coverage do I actually want and need? Because I think those are two different things, right? When you look at your skin and you think about what it is you're trying to do with your foundation, think about the job it's trying to do, and then think about the level of coverage that you're actually comfortable wearing, because those two things matter a lot. And then those actually help inform the next question, which is around application, right? Are you wanting to kind of slather it on with your fingers like we like to do with our CC cream that we've showed many, many times? Or do you want to use like the right tool for the job, right? And when I say that, what I'm talking about is, like a foundation brush like this guy, which I love because it has like a flat top, or we've got a brand new sponge, which I also love, and has like a flat pointed side here. And then Vanessa's got another foundation brush, that one. I think I also have that one here. I use this a lot for blending. Blendy.
And I love that it says that. It
Yeah,
actually says it on our brush. So
yeah,
it's really like, it's such a great guide because sometimes you get too much information. You're like, what do I use? Where do I use it? So
yeah,
it's a lot easier because we only have one sponge. So
yeah,
it's not a complication, but we have multiple brushes, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
for sure.
they say what's read on it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So did you want to talk to them about what it is to have a matte foundation or oilier or combination skin?
I mean, I don't really have oily combination skin anymore. I can chat about it, but I think like um if you lived through the 90s, I feel like I've said this a lot in my life, then you know what I'm talking about when I say matte, because matte was like the thing through the early 2000s, even in the teens, the 2K teens, we'll call them. And mattifying ingredients help kind of, control your shine throughout the day, right? And you don't get that kind of same level of glow from your skin as you would get from a luminous wear foundation. Would you add anything to that, Vanessa?
Yes, I used to hate that time frame because I had dry skin. So you imagine me putting matte on my dry skin, it
Oh
just
yeah,
looked awful, right?
yeah,
Like you could see every mark, everything, every stroke.
yeah.
It wasn't for my
Well,
skin, right? And so
yeah. I do think skin prep has a lot to do with it though. Like I think you really have to be super intentional about how you prep your skin to put these things on. And that'll be a conversation for another day. But I agree with you. Totally not down for matte wear foundation. However, we do get requests for it. There is one that exists out there in the universe of TimeWise 3D foundation. Um, yeah, I personally love the luminous wear. Is that what you're using these days, Vanessa?
absolutely. I've always used the Luminous, even um, unless I'm using CC cream because that's not
Yeah,
really matter or anything. But
yeah,
I've always liked the Luminous because I can control how much of it I put on my face too. So if I'm finding I'm a
yeah.
little more combination that day, right? Because it's a hot day or whatever, I can actually layer the
Yeah.
foundation.
Oh, 100%. And the other thing with Luminous is you can actually mattify it. So I love that about it because you can take a powder and you can mattify it. So I tend to like when I'm stocking up my makeup kit, I will stock mostly Luminous and then I'll just mattify it with
Yes.
um whatever powder I want to mattify it with, depending on who
And
I'm trying to cover.
And you can kind of do that with the matte foundation, our matte foundation too, ladies. We have the same looking bottle in matte, right? It's just a different color on the back of our foundations. But it's so funny because it actually tells you normal to dry skin and it tells you oily to
Yeah.
combination. I'm telling you, it's fantastic for us because
Yeah.
you're thinking, is this, that, or what is it? Right. And then the
Yeah.
other thing is about it is I like to, if I grab the mat by accident or if I'm not, I'm not combination that day, I just wet my sponge
Yeah.
and it kind of gives me that more luminous texture to my foundation. So tell us
Absolutely.
what you're doing, Miss Karen.
Oh yeah, I just started going ahead here and putting stuff on my face because I realized I have to go to a hair appointment shortly. So honestly, I just put some luminous foundation on my brush and I was stippling it into my skin, which gives you a really great level of coverage without using extra product. So hopefully you can see that
And
on
what's
my
the
skin.
reason why you use a brush?
Oh, because if you don't use a brush, like tons of it gets absorbed into your fingertips, right? And
Yeah,
then it's kind of wasteful from your product perspective, right? So I mean, you can use a brush in a couple of ways. You can swipe, you can stipple. I like to stipple it because I get better coverage, like I said, but I don't use my fingers because you don't get the same level of coverage. I think one day we'll have to get out the mirror and show the difference between the application. Oh,
I
you got it. There
I
you go.
brought the mirror with me and I have a sponge and a brush and they're my
I love it.
finger.
I
So
love it.
I
Okay,
thought I
well
could
let's
do
show them
it.
why. Yeah, let's show them
Okay.
why.
So let me show you so you know. So my fingers don't have anything on them right now. So I'm just going to put some on the tip of my finger, right? So you can see. I have some on the tip of my finger. The mirror is semi-clean. It's got fingerprints, but it's got no cosmetics on it. So you're seeing this. So watch when I take my finger and go down,
Yeah.
right? And so there's still some on my finger, but it's not transposing onto the mirror, right? So you see that, right? That's a finger. Now watch me do my brush. So here's my brush. There's nothing on it, right? It's a clean brush. So I'm putting the same amount, right? Just a little dab that I put on my finger. And then so watch when I do it with a brush.
Yeah. See that? It's more evenly applied.
And look how much is still on the brush. I
Yeah.
could do my face with that amount on the brush.
Yeah. For
Like
sure you could.
honestly,
Yeah.
right? Like check out the difference, ladies. Like it's a huge difference,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna use the sponge?
Oh, you want me to do the sponge too? Okay, I can do the
Sure.
sponge.
Yeah, do the sponge.
So here's the sponge. I'm going to put some on here on the tip, right? Oh, I should show you, right? Just a little like I did on the brush and on my finger. And so here's the sponge, and this sponge isn't wet or anything like that. If you wet it, it may or may not do a better job.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's wet, it's usually a little bit more consistent, but definitely
Yeah.
it's patchy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
see, like that's absorbed into the sponge too. That's the other
Yeah.
thing, right? So you
Yeah.
have to be intentional when using a sponge, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's really not for your whole face, I would say. Would
Yeah.
you, Karen? It's more
No,
specific.
it's more specific, and that's why they've given you this chiseled out piece. I'm actually going to show you a little bit about it. So, um, yeah, so that's a pretty stark difference. One thing I want to talk about is the buildability of this particular formula. So I said Luminous 3D is buildable, but what you want to do is you don't want to just keep building it while it's damp. You want to actually let it dry and set in between your coats. So I put that on before Vanessa started talking to you about sponges and things. I'm not going to put on any more coats, but at this point you could stipple on another coat or put on another coat. You can even swipe. You don't have to stipple the way that I was. It's totally up to you. But one thing that I like to do when I use the Luminous foundation formula is I like to take the sponge and spray it a little bit with some finishing spray. Not that we were going to talk about that today, or even this powder step that I'm about to show, but random Karen-ness. So I'm just picking up a little bit of our silky setting powder, and then you kind of pat it, and it gives you that under eye brightness that everybody's kind of trying to paint on. Now, I didn't use any concealer today, but it takes away the shine on that one side. I don't know if you can see the difference, but this side is a bit shiny and this side is not because I just patted it down with powder. So that's how you get rid of your shininess if you don't want the shine all over. Although I really like it because I feel like it's got that nice kind of dewy kind of glow. But
Sun-kissed look, as I call it.
yeah, I mean, definitely not for your under eye, but you know what I'm saying. So there you go. So yeah,
And
that
I love foundation. Like I love a foundation because really you can make a foundation almost any kind of like light, medium, or full foundation, right? Just
yeah,
from one foundation. So
yeah,
what you can do is you can, if you want a lighter coverage, you just don't do your whole face.
that's
Right?
right.
So you
Yep,
do the areas that you find are different complexion than your skin, right?
yeah,
You do those areas only. So maybe just your T-zone, like this area, right?
yeah,
And you don't
yeah.
do right into the outer. If you want more of a medium, you'd go into the outer. And if you want a full, well, then you just layer it until it's
That's
the
right.
satisfied thing. And it's not cakey.
That's
That's
right.
what you're really
Exactly.
looking for. You don't want to, you don't want someone to go up and say, "Oh, that's a nice foundation color to you."
That's right. No, you want them to say, "Oh my gosh, your skin looks amazing. It's glowing." That's what you're going
Yes.
for, right?
That's what you're
Yeah.
going for. So that's when, Karen, do you want to talk about a little bit about like how you match your foundation up, like
Oh
how
yeah,
we go about
sure.
it?
I think sometimes we go into the store and we think like, we'll just put it on our wrist and do a match, and that's not really how it works, right? So I like to think about whether or not someone has the kind of skin that tans or burns before I really get into the weeds on the color, right? And so for me, I tan pretty well, pretty consistently. I go out in the sun unless I'm at Clearwater Beach. Some people can attest to that. That was a disaster. But anyways, I tan pretty well. So I tend to fall in the medium kind of zone of shades. And I know that I get pretty dark in the summer, and I actually came into the season with a pretty decent tan. So I actually think I started a little bit darker than I maybe normally would have. Now, many of you have heard me talk before, and I use two different shades, but that's a conversation for another day. But what I like to do is take something that kind of might be a good match and put a little bit on my finger and just put it here on my neck.
Did you see where she put it, ladies? On her neck
Because
and
the idea
down
is,
almost to her décolleté area, right?
that's
So
right. So not on my jaw, not on my face directly, because the idea is it needs to disappear here between your face and your chest. I'm just looking for my other foundation, which I
and
don't know if I can find.
why do you do that, Karen? What's the reason behind it?
So your face is not the color you're trying to match, especially if you're using SPF, because your face is not going to match your body. And the idea here is that we want to create a foundation that actually creates a cohesive unit between your face, your neck, and your body. Your neck and your face are never going to be the same color as the rest of you. Sorry to tell you, but that's just kind of life. Oh, I just realized my darker colors downstairs. But either which way, actually, this kind of demonstrates it perfectly because you can see now that that's gone.
Yeah,
And I
I
didn't do
can't
anything
even see it.
else.
I don't even know where you
Exactly.
put it.
Exactly. So that's how you know it's a perfect match. Now, if you can still see it on your neck, then wrong color for you. You adjust up or down, right? And the other thing that's kind of interesting in the Mary Kay land, anyways, is that we kind of group these in terms of: are you olive undertoned? Are you yellow undertoned? Or do you have a more pink undertone? I think I talked about that a little bit in the terms of like the light versus medium, but in terms of olive versus yellow, you know, if you have more of an olivey undertone, you're more of like a neutral kind of gal. That's somebody who could wear like either gold or silver. If you're more of a yellow undertone kind of gal, then you probably look and live in gold better than you do with silver. And those are some tips and tricks to kind of help you figure out, where you fall in terms of like the grid of different shades and colors. So we've got kind of that first benchmark, which is: are you light? Are you medium? Are you deep? And then the second one has to do with the number, and your beauty consultant or beauty advisor can help you figure out which number is the right one for you based on those kinds of questions around, what kind of jewelry do you like? What do you gravitate to the most? When do you get the most compliments when you're wearing jewelry? That sort of thing, right?
And if you do decide to send a picture to us, please send it without makeup. It's really
Yeah.
hard to get somebody's foundation match when they
Yeah.
already have foundation on,
Oh,
right?
100%.
When you wake up in the morning and you have washed your face, just send us a picture then, because then it's easier to tell, because you haven't gone through the day, you haven't been in the sun, you haven't anything. Because like for me, if I go out in the sun during the day, even if I have SPF, I get darker.
Same.
Right? So like if I send somebody a match in the morning and then, or some at night, then I could be a totally different color the next day. Right? But these
Exactly.
foundations, the good thing about these foundations are they're pretty much, I've only had to change like twice, right? Like I went one color and then went to the other color, like how Karen said, because of the summer, I got
Yeah.
darker and I got
Yeah.
darker, right? So I'm pretty sure I won't have to go any other colors than this one here. This is pretty much matching me all since I started using it, which is really
Mhm.
good because I'm gotten darker and lighter, and you're not in the sun, you're in the sun, so forth.
Yeah.
So,
For those of you who've seen me do underpainting before, you'll know that I use two different colors. One of them being like my medium 6, which is the one that I'm demonstrating today. And the other one is a little bit darker. It's a medium 9. And what I found is that the medium 9 fits me better when I'm tanned, and the medium 6 fits me better kind of like towards the fall, winter. And I use them that way on purpose, right? To create that light and dark. But we'll do a demo on that another day. But stocking yourself up that way kind of gets you set for the season of tanning and the season of sun worship, if you will.
and that's really good for mature skin like us too, right? Like, you know what I mean? Having dimensions on our skin, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just that flat canvas, right?
Yeah.
So when you get older, your skin just has different dimensions. That's what I always like to say. It's different dimensions, right? So you have to work with those different dimensions and don't try to look at what you used when you were in your 20s, because it's not going to work,
No, your
right? Like
skin
your
changes
skin is
so
different.
dramatically. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
so, do you have anything else to say, Karen, or do you want to do kind of like a quick foundation quiz?
Let's do a quiz. I'm down
Okay.
for a quiz.
Okay. So, someone says, I get shiny throughout the day and prefer a natural finish. What do you think?
I mean, I think that it's probably going to be a matte finish for this particular individual because their skin will help to hydrate away the crustiness that can be matte sometimes.
That's the right answer.
Okay.
And
Yay.
someone says, I want my skin to look fresh, healthy, and radiant.
Luminous. Hands
Yeah.
down, luminous. Yeah.
Yep. And then I have one more. Someone says, I want coverage, but I don't want to look heavily made up.
Now, I'd probably go luminous, and I would probably apply it with a sponge or lightly with a swipes of a brush.
Yep, you're absolutely right. That's totally what it is. Well, ladies, so if you want to know what, sorry, let me rephrase that. I totally lost my train of thought as mid-sentence.
It
So if
happens.
you guys need to be matched or want to be matched, just tag us in this post. Just say match, right?
Yep.
Because we're available and we do these little, what are they called? What do you call them?
I call them beauty reviews. They're just little like pop-ups. You can do them virtually, you can do them in person, and it's just like 15 minutes. It doesn't take a lot of your life. They're fun, I promise. And we can do a match. We can do it live on screen and we can talk about what might work for you.
I love it. And that's it, ladies. I don't think we have anything else to talk about unless Karen has any takeaways.
No, I think this was it. Happy week 2 of Unfiltered with Karen and Vanessa. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you're joining us, please let us know you were here and watched. We like to know that people are enjoying our content. We always like cheerleaders, so please cheer us on.
And we can't see the comments, ladies,
No.
unfortunately. So you could be sitting here watching us and we have no idea. So make sure that you post in the comments that you're watching it or that sort of thing, because we always like to see who's watching and different stuff. And
Yeah.
also, if you have any ideas for any future
Topics.
unfiltered
Yeah.
topics, that's very
Yeah.
helpful, ladies, because we want to help you, right? That's why we're doing these. We're here
Yeah.
to help you guys, right? So
Yeah.
we can make up topics all day long, but if they don't obtain to you, then like, what's the point, right?
Yeah, we want to, yeah, exactly. We want to make sure they resonate with you. We're here for you. We're personal beauty advisors for you, not for us. We already kind of know what our jam is for us individually, but we're here to help you because we know that some of these things are hard and they don't have to be, right? So
Yeah,
let us know what you want to know.
and nobody taught us this when we were going
No.
through school.
Oh
Like
my
this should
gosh.
have been taught, right? Like,
I know, like they don't give you a manual. Why don't they give you
yeah,
a manual?
I have no ideas.
Maybe we should make a manual.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, ladies.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking in our second edition. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with number 3.
Awesome. Bye, ladies.